morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, wherever you're at. It's J.R. Fisher here. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me. If you don't mind, just put in the comment section there, chat section, whatever it is. Hey, Wayne, what's going on? I see Wayne there. He's asking me something about Instagram. Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. Let's see here. Who else is in there? Richard says he can hear me. Also, guys, go ahead and put in there where you're from. Love to see where you're from. I think we've got like 1 or 2 spots open today. It's not 100% full, but I'm sure it will be in just a second. Some people kind of lag and they don't get in there right away. I even give you a couple minutes, right? I mean, I'm sitting here before 11, but I always give everybody a couple minutes. Who knows? You maybe have something to do. So yeah, we got Tanya. Hey Tanya, what's going on there from New Zealand? We got Richard from Yorkshire, UK. Christina's from Minneapolis. Hey Christina, what's really funny is today some of the screenshots I took has a chat that we did on there, so you're going to see that. You'll want to stick around for that. It's kind of funny actually. So yeah, there's Christina there, and we've got somebody from Bahrain. We've got somebody from South Africa. There's Ronald from Chicago. So good. Everybody can hear me. That's an awesome thing. People from all around the globe. And we got some really cool stuff today. This is a little bit off of Facebook advertising. In fact, it's not Facebook advertising. You know, what this is today is how to message people. And I'm going to show you some examples of what we do. There's Wayne in Bakersfield. Wayne, good to see you, buddy. Got a few Waynes in there today, so that's a popular name today. Cool thing. So I do want to jump into it, and this may be a little bit over some people's heads if you haven't done this, but the thing to do is just kind of get your feet wet, kind of learn about it, see what it is, you know, use it as you go, and you'll pick it up. It's not that hard. So let me get my right screen up here, guys, so I can get that started. And I think I called it, yeah, a Facebook thing though. Facebook ad secrets, part 17. I've done 17 of these, guys, just talking about Facebook and how to use Facebook. And this is definitely part of Facebook. So it is a Facebook ad secret. I just want to let you know about that. So let's check this out. First off, what is Messenger? Because that's really what we're going to be talking about today is what is Messenger? What is this thing? I mean, we are already text, right? Why is Messenger any different than just texting people? Well, what it is it's really a direct way to communicate with people from your actual page on Facebook. So these conversations that you're going to be having with people, it can be a group conversation. In other words, you can message every single person that's on your Messenger bot list, and we're going to talk about that in just a second too. But understand that what we're doing is we're actually communicating to them from our page. This is a business page. This is not a personal page. So this is from our business. So it's basically you at your business talking to people. The things you can do, you can text, you can voice, you can do a video with them, and you can actually call them also. So there's like a lot of things you can do, and you can do all of this for free. Okay. Now there is a charge if you start getting a ton of people and a ton of contacts and all that, but that's not, you know, Facebook doesn't charge you for this. It's the services that integrate with Facebook that charge you for this, which you do need one of these services. Now, I'm going to give you a list of all the services in this training, and you can pick the one you want. I'll show you the one that I use that's probably the most popular. I'm not saying it's the best one. So, you know, if you find one that you like better, that's fine too. But you do need one of these services. That's very important. So you can actually reach friends on their phones and online. So, you know, somebody walking down the street, you can actually, you know, they get notified that you just sent them a message, which is pretty cool, you know, because like not everybody has, you know, their notifications turned on for their email or anything like that. But most people leave their Facebook notifications on, so you'll be able to reach them. Here's the other cool thing. You'll also know who saw it. So a lot of times you're not sure if somebody saw your text or if they saw your email. With Messenger, you're going to know if they saw it or not. So that's really pretty awesome. And you can share stuff with them. You know, if you've got a photo you want to share, and I've done this, where you got videos or stickers or gifts or whatever you want to do. And I've used all of these things actually in my bot. that I communicate with all these people with. So, you know, you can actually share something that's more than just a message, than more than just talking to them. And of course, like I said, you can get these push notifications, and people will be notified when you send them a message. So they're more likely to actually look at it. You can do this on your phone. You can do it on your laptop, your desktop, whatever you want. So it can be done from anywhere, which is pretty cool. You don't have to, go home and make sure you're on your desktop computer before you can do any of this stuff. It doesn't matter where you're at. So why is Messenger so important? I mean, what's the big deal about Messenger? Why is everybody talking about Messenger now? Why is it the new fad, the new thing? Well, it's the number one way to reach a customer that there is, period. Okay. And when I say that, yeah, you could send your message out to just as many people through an email. You could send just as many people through a text, but the reach is far, far better. The open rates and all that, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But as far as really reaching out and grabbing them and saying, hey, look at this, there is no better way, period. There's just no better way whatsoever. So why is it so important? Well, the open rates are off the charts, okay? So when you send a message in Messenger, and I'm going to go over this, but sometimes the open rates are almost 80%. Now you think about that. When you're sending an email, I mean, you're lucky if you're getting single digit open rates, let alone double digit. And if you were to get double digit on emails, I mean, that would be amazing, right? But that just doesn't happen when you have a big list. You just don't get that kind of open rates. But with Messenger, you actually do. And some of them will go up to, I have some on my account right now that are at 80% open rates. I mean, that's phenomenal. If you're on this call, you may have gotten a message from me about, this training today. And if you got a message about this training today, there was probably a little button there and you could just click on it and you could go sign up to, attend this training. So I use it to get people to show up for training. I use it to get people to do different things. I use it to have conversations with people. There's all kinds of things you can use it for. The click-through rate on Messenger is also phenomenal. The amount of click-through, to get click-through on an email, it's tough. I mean, it's tough enough to get somebody to look at your email and then to open your email, but to get them to click, oh my God, it's tough. And we do it, and you use it, and we make money off it, but you got to have big numbers, to get big results. With Messenger, you don't. You could have 50 people and get some serious results with Messenger. Next thing is organic engagement. It is shared a whole lot more than any other thing. People are going to share it, and they feel more comfortable with it because it's like, oh, I just sent you a message. And some people don't understand that a lot of these messages are bots. They're automated, and I'm going to show a few of those in just a second so you can see how that works. But the organic engagement is just phenomenal. And get this, you can actually sell stuff. There's certain rules and stipulations on it. My dog just jumped next to me there. I got a little scared. But the sales numbers are just phenomenal on this. Just phenomenal. So you do want to use it for sales too, but you got to also look at the rules for that because Facebook has rules. They have to have interacted with you over a certain period of time before you start selling through it. And I think it really instills a lot of goodwill because you can talk to them like one-on-one. It feels more like a conversation. It doesn't feel like a salesy type thing. Now you have to write your messages so that they feel that way. You don't want to say, I'm sending this out to all my customers. That would be a terrible line to use on a bot or a messenger because then they're going to realize, that they're not just talking to you. And a lot of people think they're talking to you one-on-one, which is pretty cool. And you can also actually jump in there. Like when I get notifications that somebody's, talking to my bot, a lot of times I'll jump in there and I'll send them messages too. So it is a conversation. So it does engage me too. It wakes me up and says, hey, somebody's talking to your bot. You ought to go talk to them. So what do you do with Messenger, right? How do you do it? What do you do with it? Well, this is a message that I found online right here. This is a message that was sent. Somebody obviously sent that message, but probably not something we want to do. We want to use it for lead nurturing. Okay, so if you're getting leads, this is a great way to nurture them, send them information, let them opt in, that type of thing. You can use it for that purpose. What else can you use it for? You can use it for order updates. A lot of you didn't even think about this. or I didn't think about it, but when somebody's ordering from you and there's a process, it got shipped out, or you have a tracking number or whatever, it's pretty cool if you get a notification on your phone, your order is shipped and here's the tracking number. You can click here to track it. So you can use it for purposes like that. Now that wouldn't be like a blanket thing. That wouldn't be something you'd send to your whole list, but it's a way you could use it. You can use it for content delivery. If you have good information, maybe you just did a video, maybe you just wrote a blog, maybe you have a downloadable for people that they can click on and get that information. You can actually put that into your bots, and as they're clicking through, when they get to that stage, they can actually click and download whatever information you got. That's pretty cool stuff. What else? You can use it for retargeting. So if a person visits your page or looks at your product, or whatever it is, read your blog, you can actually retarget these people with your messenger. So that's pretty amazing. And retargeting, you get a whole lot better results. You really do. When you retarget people, they've already known you, they've already interacted with you, they're a warm audience. So it's a super good way to use it for that. And you can use it to drive more sales. So if they've already bought from you and you've got related products or other things you want to sell them, or sell them more of that same product, you can certainly do that. There's a lot you can do with Messenger. So what services can you use to automate Messenger? Like I said, I have one that I use, and I think it's a really good one, and I recommend it. But there are other ones out there. So, if there's, you want to check out some of the other ones, and those of you listening now, I would suggest you write some of these things down, because that way you can go research it after this training and you can look them up. The first one I would say is FeedBeaver. FeedBeaver is a good one. You could go out there and check that one out. That is the name of it right there, and it's just feedbeaver.com. The next one is ChatFuel. ChatFuel. So if you want to jot down ChatFuel, you can, after this training, go out there and look at ChatFuel. Next one is Botsify. Botsify is the other one. Botsify. You can use Botsify. And then this is the one I use, which is MiniChat. MiniChat has only been around since 2016, so they're pretty new. Matter of fact, all of these services are pretty new. So don't try to find one that's been around 10 years, because they don't exist, because this wasn't available. And for a period of time, actually, Facebook disallowed adding any of these bots and pages, but they've got all that corrected now. So if you were waiting and said, oh my gosh, they stopped doing that. They did for a period of time. I think it was like 2 or 3 months or something like that. But now you can go back and you can use any of these services. So I would highly recommend you checking them out. Now, I'm going to concentrate today on MiniChat, not because it's better than any of them. I mean, I like it. It's comfortable for me, but it's just the one we use. So what can you do with MiniChat? Let's look at MiniChat for 1 second. Well, the first thing I like about it is it's free. Now, there is a paid plan, and on some of my pages, I do have the paid plan on there, but initially it is free. So why would you not use it? I mean, it's just, it's a no-brainer. It's a free service where you can communicate with people. And if you don't have it, and you're not using it, and you have a business, whether it's, I don't know, survival food, or whether it's dog training, if you're not using it right now and it's free, I would ask you, why are you not using it? Why? Why wouldn't you use it? That makes no sense to me. It doesn't take long to set up. It's really simple. People are already interacting with your page right now. They would sign up for it. Why would you not use it? I don't understand. Oh, you do. Okay, I was messing with Jessica. She was next to me here. She has dog training. Okay, check it out too. The Furry Family Coach. Really good dog training. Check that stuff out. And it has pro features, but it's just a few bucks. Like, I mean, you could pay like $10 to get the pro feature. So it's like nothing. I don't know how these companies make money, to be honest with you. I guess they depend on big volume, users or something like that. But I mean, it's just so dirt cheap. And I promise you, as it becomes more popular, it's going to become more expensive. I mean, you think of all the free services and free emails that were around in the late 90s and early 2000s, and they all charge now, every single one of them. I can't talk. Subscribers get notifications on their phone. I just talked about that. I mentioned that to you, but nothing's cooler than seeing a notification on your phone. It's almost impossible. I mean, for me anyhow, when I get a notification on my phone that I've got a message, for me not to look at it. I mean, it's just, I have to do it. I have turned off my email notifications. And I bet a lot of you out there have turned off email notifications, because you get emails all day long. You don't want them, right? But most people still have their messenger notifications turned on. And since they have them turned on, they're going to, be more likely to look at these messages you're sending out. So why would you not do that, right? Next thing, you can have real-time conversations with button options. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But we have a lot of these things built in so that when people interact with our page and they say certain things, it sends them down different sequences and different funnels. And I'll show you that in just a second. As a matter of fact, I was looking through the attendees here today. And yes, Christina's in here. Hey, Christina, how you doing? I took a screenshot of us talking, so you're going to see that in just a second. So check that out. And it works 24/7. So, unlike really having to sit there and message people back and forth, this can work on any time zone, any time of day. And it also helps improve your contact. In Facebook, they look at how quickly you respond to people who send you messages. Well, if you've got a bot out there responding all the time, then you don't have a problem, right? Makes your page look better. And it does feel personal. Messages still feel personal. They still feel like a text. They haven't gone to, these robo dialer telephone things. I don't know if you guys get these. I get them all day long where people are calling, trying to sell me something from all these different countries. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more personal, which is nice. And the thing is, people have to opt in for this. So people are not going to just get them randomly. And I can direct people to a targeted sequence based on what their interests are. So if they have interest in, a beginning stage of starting a e-commerce business, they're going to go down a different sequence than somebody who's trying to scale up a business they already have based on what button they click on and what they're saying, because these bots can actually read their messages, which is really pretty cool. So let's look at pricing first off and what it's going to cost you. And like I said, the first service that you can get with ManyChat is free. And I'm not pushing ManyChat, it's just the one I use, so I'm just telling you about it. But you can have unlimited broadcasts. In other words, you could send a broadcast every 10 minutes to your list, which I don't recommend, but you could do that and it would be free. But it's going to limit you to 2 broadcast sequences. In other words, once you broadcast and they click and go somewhere, there's only 2 sequences they can go down. And you can only use 4 growth tools. Growth tools are the tools you use, to increase your list and have people add in. One of them, of course, is Facebook comments. You can have up to 10 tags, depending on, what the people do, they're going to get tagged. And you can use 3 custom fields. The ManyChat branding is going to be in your growth tools, main menu, and your welcome message, just to let you know that. But like I say there, if you go to their page, you go to pricing, you can click on that and get started, and it's free. Now the pro plan, which I think it starts at like $10, something like that. You have unlimited broadcasts like you do on the free one, and you have unlimited broadcast sequences. So all these little funnel things you're used to building and emails and all that, you can do that in ManyChat, an unlimited number of them. You can have an unlimited number of growth tools. So you could use the Facebook comments like you would use on the free side. You can use the Facebook ads JSON tool, which you can go in and read about that and see how that works, but it's pretty simple. It's not hard. And there's some comments over there too, Jessica. Do you have one that I need to answer, or you handle it? Jessica's handling it. Okay. And you can also use a messenger code tool, which you can go in there and, click on it and read a little bit more about that. I don't want to get into too much detail in this training on it. And you can have unlimited tags. So if you've got, 100 different things you want to tag people with, you can tag them 100 different ways. You can have unlimited number of custom fields. And you're going to have ManyChat branding on your growth tools only. So it's going to take it off all of the other ones in there. Okay, so this is one of the orders of our sequences. And I was talking to somebody by the name of Christina Wood, who is on this call right now. Hey, Christina. So I was talking to Christina, but this was actually a bot that went out to Christina because she signed up, and it's my welcome bot. And it says, welcome, Christina. Great to meet you. I help people start, run, and grow online businesses. Let's see what stage you're at so I can best help you. Click the button below that applies to you. So now if you notice, guys, I've put 3 buttons there. It says beginning stage, growing my business, and want to scale. And when they click on one of those, it's going to show me which one they clicked on. And then what's going to happen is it's going to take them down the sequence I want to take them to. which is, okay, you clicked on the beginning stage. Here's a couple options for you. The first option is my private Facebook group, and it's free. So I tell them about that because I do want, to help people for free. First off, they want to buy something from me on down the road. That's fine, but I don't mind giving free content. The second is a course with behind the scenes live training. Click the button below that applies to you. So if they're interested in the course, they can go look at that. And if you notice, Christina down there, you can see she started to answer me in this bot here. So I actually jumped in and started talking to her because I do that. Okay. I don't want everything just to be automated. And I know some people do, but I don't. So when I did that, of course, what happens is once we're done talking, I can then send broadcasts to this person. So that's one of the sequences that we went through. Let's take a look at another one here. This is Ankita. Matter of fact, I was talking to them today, and it got the same, little bot that went out to them. And when that bot went out to them, they clicked, and they were beginning stage. So I sent out that same little message to them, and they could click, join the Facebook group. And actually, these people did join the Facebook group, which is kind of nice. That adds to our group. And then what happened is another message went out, but this one here says, I want to show you the #1 way to communicate with your subscribers and blow up your sales this Friday, tomorrow. So this is a message. There's actually a broadcast that I sent out. And then this person actually did respond to me, and they did sign up and show up on the call, which is pretty cool, right? So you can use it for a lot of different things. You can, jump in there and do broadcasts in there. You could send personal messages once they interact with it. There's just a ton of things you can do. And it's really so simple because we're so tuned in already, and we're so accustomed to using messages now and texting now. And I remember when the texting thing first came out, I thought, well, who the heck's going to do that? Why are you going to sit there and type with your thumbs when you could just call somebody? And I got to tell you, I don't ever call anybody anymore. All I do is type with my thumbs because I couldn't even tell you why. Somehow these genius people who come up with these ideas seem to know what the human psyche is going to do and how they're going to use it. And hey, Christina, she just said hello. Okay, so it somehow they've got this figured out. And it just, this texting thing, this messaging thing, people like better, I guess, because it's quicker. You don't have to get into a long conversation. And it really does tend to be a little bit faster than, talking to people. I have a good friend who's 83 years old, and he texts me all the time. I mean, we text back and forth. So it's not an age barrier thing either. Now, this is the dashboard of a mini chat account that I have, and I recorded this because I want to show you how it works. So let's dive into this, and I can show it to you. Okay, so here I am in mini chat right now. I'm in one of my accounts. As you can see, I have a bunch of different accounts here. This is a fairly new one. And when you first come here, you're going to be at the dashboard. It's going to show you how many subscribers you have. And then here's your audience right here. It shows you all your different people in here. So you could individually send them a message if you want. And you can send it as a group. People who have been chatting with me, they're going back and forth now. Obviously, some of these are automated and they're chatting, but they think they're talking exactly with me and they're not. And then we have our growth tools here, and you create your growth tools depending on what you want. This area here is for broadcasting. So if I decide I want to send something out to a group of people, I send it out to them. And if you look here, you'll notice that the read rate percentage, 20%, this 20% I just sent a couple minutes ago. But look at this, 61%, 69%, 60 or 72%, 75%. And then if you look at these click-through rates, and understand these click-through rates are actually much higher than this, because these click-through rates are based on how many I sent out instead of how many people read it. So if you look at how many people read this, and you've got, let's say, 7 here out of 23, that's huge. That's like almost 30% click-through rate. So if you look through here, you'll notice that it's like super, super high. Here's actually 10% here, 104 people read it. This one here is almost 10%. So it's much higher than it would normally be. But then when you go in here, you have automations. This one here is a button to join my free private Facebook group. And they click on it, and then they have some choices depending on what they decide to do. Get training, or work with me, start a basic training course, my step-by-step e-com course, watch my free webinar. And each one of these automations has replies to it. These here are the default replies depending on what they say. This here is my welcome message right here, and it tells them what to do, right here. And it tells me also, I can look at this and say, well, beginning stage, most people are clicking through on that one. That's about 40% of the people. And about 10% of the people are growing my business. And if you look down here, it's one to scale about 3%. So you can see most people are in this beginning stage here. It also has an area here where you can set up keywords. So if somebody in the message puts in start or subscribe, I send them to my subscribe bot right here, okay? If somebody says stop or unsubscribe, I send them to the unsubscribe bot. Obviously, we don't take them off. Ecom Road, I send them to the message in Ecom Road that explains things to them right here. And here's the message, hey, did you want to know about the difference between Ecom Road and Digital Cash Academy? And if it's a yes, which 75% of the people say yeah because they don't know the difference, then of course it'll send them to that and they get that information. Let's go back one here. And then message here, if it says DCA, does it contain DCA, which is Digital Cash Academy, obviously. Hey, did you want to know the difference between Ecom Road and DCA? 75% of these people do want to do that, so I happen to know that. Then if you go into sequences here, there's an example sequence, and there's a welcome sequence right here. Get rid of all these notifications. People are sending me messages. Okay, and then they have rules in here. They have flows, depending on what you want to do. Here's the flows here and all the different ones I have in the different flow areas that you can see. And then your settings are going to be on this tab right here. You have a greeting text, and you can make these, like this one here is personalized. So the greeting text says, hey, first name. So we can put that in there. I can show you how to start and run a successful online business, okay? So we have that on there. And what else can I show you guys in here? Different templates. They also offer these templates. Now I don't use these. I do my own personal ones. But if you're a restaurant, if you're e-commerce, so we can look at the e-commerce one here. We can look at the e-commerce if you click on it, and it gives you all the different templates in here. They have 12 different flows in here, which you can see. They have keywords right here, all the different keywords. This one here has a growth tool in it. This one here has a main menu, welcome message, and default reply. So that's kind of cool. Still more messages. Okay. So, that's that. If you're automotive, if you're a restaurant, real estate, professional services, whatever you are. And then, of course, you have your profile. So it's a really cool tool. There's a lot to do. You can do with it. You can set up your own template here if you wanted to do this. And then, of course, I have all these different accounts in here. But it's something you really should have. Like I said, you can get a free version. I think this one here's a pro version here. We just started this one here. But to be able to talk back and forth to somebody and then think it's real, that's pretty amazing stuff. So that's inside ManyChat. I do highly recommend it. Okay, guys, so that's kind of an overview of this. I didn't get real precise detail. I'm starting to get a lot of questions there now. Let me kind of sort through these questions. Jessica will also be reading off some questions too. And so let's see here. Do you have to have a service to use Messenger? Wow. You don't really have to have a service to use Messenger. In other words, you personally could, message people who like your page. That's not the problem. The problem is without a service, you can't do any type of automations. So what the service allows you to do is it allows you to automate answers to people. It allows you to automatically welcome them when you're not around. So when somebody, joins your page and, says that they'll accept messages from you, that it automatically will start them in some of these sequences that you have them set up. Somebody's asking, how does the bot know what to do? Well, there's several things. First off, if you put buttons in your messages inside the button itself, you can send them to another sequence within your bot. In other words, like if they say beginning stage, I could send them another, message that says, okay, you're at the beginning stage. Here's a couple opportunities for you. Click here or here. And then on that particular message, I could put in the buttons websites. I could put in downloads. I could put in my Facebook group. I could put in whatever I wanted to in those buttons. Somebody else says, I understand they can actually read your bot and send it somewhere. Yes, it can read your bot and send it somewhere. Now, for it to do that, you have to go into your particular bot. And what you need to do is you need to put in keywords. So like in my case, if somebody types Ecom Road, they're probably interested in Ecom Road, but they may be interested in one of my other courses, which is Digital Cash Academy. And Jessica, somebody's asking for you to put in links for Ecom Road and Digital Cash Academy. Could you also do Web Cash Academy because they're interested in that? So she'll put links in there, guys, and you can go to those links and look at that. Also, she's going to put some links in there for those of you who need an email provider, who want a discount on Kartra. We have a special link where you can get Kartra for like $1, and you can try that out. And Kartra is a really good provider that has everything, basically landing pages. It has email lists in there. It has like lead pages type stuff in there. You can host videos in there. You can put membership sites in there. You can do just about anything. So she'll put that link in there so you guys can have that. But getting back to ManyChat, in putting in these keywords, if ManyChat says, okay, JR put in the keyword Ecom Road and I see Ecom Road, what am I supposed to do? Then what I do is I tell ManyChat, if somebody types in the Ecom Road, send them to this sequence. And this sequence may say, are you interested in the difference between Ecom Road, Web Cash Academy, and Digital Cash Academy? And when they click on one of those, it will take them to that information about that particular product. Or, my survival food, if it's freeze-dried food or if it's canned meats or whatever. So I use it for different companies doing different type things. Is all the pricing the same for all the companies? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't use any of the other companies. Not that they aren't great. I got one. I learned how to do it. And I'm not real good about learning more stuff from more companies, so I don't do that. Let's see what other questions we've got in there. The free service has branding on everything. Yes, it does have branding on everything, which I don't really think it's going to hurt anything. I mean, I have the free ones and the paid ones depending on which page I'm working on. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do on that. I always like to start with something free, because you may start with one of these free services and not like it and may want to move to another one, which is perfectly fine. It's best to get in there and try that out. That's why, like when Jessica put that link in there to Kartra, it's like $1 trial, so you can check it out. And she also has a link she's going to put in there for ClickFunnels if she hasn't done so already. And it'll give you a free trial at ClickFunnels. So, that's there for you too. Okay, I'm trying to weed through all these questions, and we're running a little short on time today. So if you've got a question, you want to put it in now, really super important you put it in now, because what I'm going to do is try to go through these questions. I know I won't get to the very end of all the questions. So if you have something in here, you want to, even if it's about your site or you got a little off subject question, and it's about Facebook, just try to keep it in that realm there. Then, I can certainly take a look at that too. And let me click here and I'm going to scroll, guys, because I should be on this screen because we're at Q&A. So now I'm at Q&A. All right, so let me see what other questions you guys have in here. How long does it take to set up ManyChat? Wow, well, it depends. You can have all kinds of sequences in there. You can have all kinds of keywords in there. You can have all type. It really depends on how intricate you want to make it. It's kind of like saying, how long does it take to set up a website? I did a video the other day and it shows you how to build a WordPress website in 28 minutes. Boom, you're done. But if you want like a really great website, you want to have tons of content in there and you have lots of pages, that's a whole nother story. All that does is give you the basic website. So ManyChat is really simple to set up initially, but there are, a lot of things you can do with it. And you could spend days and weeks and months working on it if you wanted to. Jessica, do you have any questions on your side? She says she does. I'm going to turn my microphone so you guys can hear her.
Wayne wants to know if you can have it go to your website for more information.
Yes, you can send it to websites. You can send it to down. You can send it anywhere you want. Any URL that you want. When they click a button, you can send it there, because what happens is you click add button, and then for the button, on the button, you can have it say whatever you want. Like if I wanted to say beginning stage, intermediate stage, or advanced stage, I can put that on the button. The buttons are very limited as far as how many letters of text you can put on them. So you can't put like a sentence on a button. It's like, click here to see, that type of thing. It's very, very limited on that. But yeah, you can send them anywhere you want. You could send them to your Facebook page if you want to do that. So if you're trying to build a group or something like that, you could say, hey, you like my page, we're messaging here. Why don't you join my group? You could do that also. Do you have any other questions over there, Jessica, or do you want me to stick with the ones I have on my side?
I had one more. Let me find it real quick.
She's searching for a question. And while I'm thinking about it, guys, don't forget, put your questions in there so I can answer them.
Yeah, well, there are a few people that are asking about, they're saying, so this is like emailing your list, kind of.
It's really not like emailing your list, because emailing your list, they actually have to go to their email and look at their email and open it. And I remember, when AOL came out, and I'm really dating myself, but I'm talking like 93, 94. And I would check my email, 10 times a day to see if I got one. And I never had one. It was like so rare to ever get an email. Now I check it 10 times a day to get rid of emails. I just want to go through and just delete stuff. So it's a whole different thing. Now, messenger notifications have not reached that. They probably will. I mean, if you're not involved in this now, you need to get involved in it, because at some point, everybody's going to jump on it and they're going to be on to the next new thing. What's the next new thing? I don't know. I don't come up with this stuff. I just use it. So there will be something else out there. Okay. They all kind of go by the wayside after a while. Companies like Facebook, they constantly update and innovate and buy other companies. They're pretty smart. So, you want to stick in there because they'll have the next new thing. But if you're not using Messenger now, you're just plain missing the boat. You really are. I'm waiting. Jessica said do you have another one in there, Jessica? If not, that's fine. I'll grab one from my side over here. We have two screens we're looking at, guys.
So what are the differences in broadcasts and flows?
I'm going to let you answer that, Jessica. I think that's a great question. And, from great questions come great answers. And Jessica actually is an expert setting this up. So why don't you tell us, what is the difference in broadcast and flows?
So a broadcast is something that you are sending out to your entire list or a segment of your list in real time. And a flow is something is an automation that you set up.
Very cool. So like today, when I was doing a coaching call, I would send it out to a segment of people who had subscribed. And, you can segment them based on tags. So all these tags that you make in there, I can say, well, send it out to everybody who's a member of my, Facebook group, or send it out to everybody who bought this particular course. And once you tag these people, then of course you can send out your broadcast. But this flow is going to just go on its own. So it's an entirely different type thing. It looks like I've got time for maybe one or two more questions. Somebody's saying, how can I get them on my messenger list if they're at my website? Awesome question. And I didn't cover this. If you go to my website, jrfisher.com, you will see this. But what happens is you can actually put a pop-up on your site from ManyChat, and it's going to pop up, and like mine says, to get more free training, click here. And what it does is it actually adds them to my ManyChat list. So I can actually add people to ManyChat in Messenger from my webpage. Pretty cool thing. And that's one of the growth tools that you'll find inside ManyChat. It's awesome. And I have people sign up for that every day. We add people to our list by doing that. And that list grows and grows and grows. Now I will tell you, you don't want to beat up a messenger list. In other words, I would not recommend you sending out broadcast messages every single day to your list. It's not going to work. I think you're going to burn it out. You're going to have people unsubscribe, and you do have to allow them to unsubscribe at any point they want. The way it's set up in ManyChat is they just type in the word unsubscribe, and boom, they're off your list. You don't have any control over that. It just happens, and that's a requirement of Facebook that you allow them to do that at any point they want. You don't have to design a button or anything. It's just when they type that in, it's going to take it off your list. It's an automated thing. But it's a great way to add people to your list. It's free. Okay, I can't reiterate that enough. It is free. And if you're not using something like this, I just got to ask you why you wouldn't. The only reason I can think of is that you just don't have time to set it up. So take some time out. Don't binge on Netflix, and don't go to the movies this weekend. Take a weekend off from the movies or something, and set this thing up, because it is just incredibly useful for you. You'll make a ton of money off it. You'll build your brand off it. You can build your list off it. There's just so many things you can do. And if you don't do it, you're missing out. And I would hate to see you miss out. So with that, I'm going to close it off, guys. We are heading out to do something. Oh, yes. Yes, we're heading to lunch. A bunch of people are putting lunch, of course. Yes, we're doing that. And I think we're going to do Taiwanese today. We had looked at that, and I think Taiwanese is the way to go. So we're going to check that out today. So guys, I really appreciate you being on the call today. I appreciate you showing up. As always, a great turnout, great questions. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Christine, James. Oh my gosh, a bunch of people in here. Ronald, Richard. We have a lot of people from the US today, but we've got a lot of people from the UK too. Okay. All right. Yes, and we have somebody from Bahrain too. Yeah. So yes, okay. In South Africa. Yes, yes. Okay, I got it. So it's all over the place. Everybody's from everywhere. I really appreciate you listening today, guys. And with that, I'm going to get out of here, and you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is in your time zone, and I'll talk to you real soon.